Hello and welcome to part 1 of my brand new Supreme Rule 2020 Let's Play. And today we're going to be playing as Somali. I'm going to go for a Somali pirate run, so we're going to be taking over the local islands in the Indian Ocean and so on, and maybe a few islands like Equatorial Guinea and stuff like that. Well, they've got oil. We want money, we want cash. I think it'd be interesting to see how far we can get with this before we're taken over. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost our mainland holdings to someone like Ethiopia or South Africa later in the game. But we can keep our islands, obviously, because it's very hard for the AI to take that. So let's get started. Got standard settings, pretty normal. Somalia has a GDP of $600 a year, so I think it's probably the poorest nation in the game, if not one of the poorest. I wonder if there's a way to check. GDP. Reverse that. What's the lowest one? Oh, South Sudan's got $74. No, I apologise. But yeah, we're really close. But we're going to be rich soon, I hope. We're a democracy at the minute, but I don't think that'll last for very long because pirates are run by a captain. That's more a dictatorship than a democracy. So let's just disregard how our citizens feel. Let's increase taxes by like a lot. And let's turn off the ministers, as I always like to do. Get that, and let's turn off this guy. And let's research the power grid, which I like to do if we don't have it. Where is it? Technology. Improve power grid. Yeah, there we go. That increases our output of electricity by 50%. There's a large opportunity for it, apparently. Let's have a look at our resources, because I'm not sure exactly what we have resource-wise. Lots of agriculture, which is good. A little bit of rubber, even. Rubber, yeah. We don't really get that very often. We utilise that. Timber, yeah. Wow, we've actually got a lot of resources. Petrol. Uranium. I'm really impressed actually. I didn't realise we'd be this lucky. So let's see if we can get some allies. Yeah. See who likes us. We'll get as many as we can, because that just helps with trade. So I tell you what, I'll come back once we've got as many allies as we can throughout the world. Mostly in Africa, it looks like. Pretty much all in Africa, no one else really cares about us. Okay, and it seems no one wants to have an alliance with us. Everybody actually... Well, they don't hate us. I mean, everybody seems to like us a decent amount. Apart from a few of these guys. South Africa likes us, which is good. But we can't get a formal alliance with any of these guys, even Niger, and they like us, you know, full percentage. So we might just have to struggle on, keep on keeping on. I'm actually debating whether to take over Djibouti, which is a funny name, in the early game, which would give us a bit more of a power base to take over these islands. But these islands are pretty much undefended, I think. Apart from the French islands, that could be a problem. I won't mess with any of the major powers yet. So we'll just get a bit more cash, build up our military. If we can get an air force as well, that'd be fantastic. But it costs a lot of money to build an aircraft fabrication. So I'll tell you what, I'll get a unit design from the Americans. They sell a self-propelled artillery, which is decent. Obviously we can only get the very old designs, because none of the major powers want to sell us any of their modern equipment. So we get that one, self-propelled gun. It's pretty decent. The Russians should be able to sell us something. Even if it's just an air defense unit. I wouldn't mind one of these, but we could just get away with this for now. because I have a feeling the South Africans are going to push up eventually. They always have a tendency to take over large parts of Africa, along with Nigeria. But the South Africans always have better equipment. Obviously, they have the... well, we can't see it, but they have the pretty decent tanks. And Nigeria just has light infantry. So I'll come back once once I've organised my troops and maybe produced a few pieces of artillery. Let's have a look. Did the Americans say yes? Well, they have not responded yet. Artillery. Did they say yes? Anyway, I'll work that out and I'll come back. Okay, for some reason I can't produce the self-propelled gun that they bought off the Americans, but it doesn't matter. Instead we're going to build the Russians 180mm gun, which is a bit stronger, but it's also much slower. So, but I don't think we'll be moving very fast anyway. And plus, once we take over the islands, these guns will be more useful because they're cheaper to maintain. You can just plonk them here, and they can fight off the enemy ships and so on. We've also got a decent amount of air force here, which is interesting. Not sure how useful it'll be. Well, it might be useful against these guys, but I think Eritrea's got a good air force, an okay air force. I also bought a design off the Russians, an aircraft design. But for some reason that has not shown up either. I don't know if the game's broken or what. Let's have a look at my settings actually. There we go. Now it should show up. Surely, there we go, yeah. Had it on the wrong settings so it wouldn't show outdated units. But we have to use the units from the 1950s, otherwise we wouldn't be able to use anything really. I'm not sure what to build first, an airport or aircraft fabrication or a naval base. So I think we'll build an air base first. As much as I would like to get a navy built and seize maybe the Nigerians' oil, because they won't be able to take it back. They don't have a navy. We don't need a navy to take these islands because they're pretty much undefended. We can just send basic transport ships, which we have. So let's send these guys up north. They're being proper slow because my computer is terrible. Yes, if you zoom out it's a bit faster. And amazingly, even though we're producing this or constructing this aircraft fabrication, we're not being bankrupt. Somalia has a surprisingly good economy. I know we have high taxes, but that's still decently impressive. I tried to run through as Eritrea not too long ago, and that was just terrible. They couldn't really afford. Definitely couldn't afford to do that early game. No economy built. Let's have a look. Rubber. Might be interesting to build some of these rubber plantations. So I think I'm going to do that actually. Rubber plantation, we can do that. I wonder. I don't think I've ever played a nation in this game that could do that. Okay, get up there. The game's so slow that I'll come back when my militia's up here, and maybe we'll have brought this artillery up as well. Right, we're ready for the assault now. I don't know how much of a fight they're going to be able to put up. Hopefully not very much. They don't have a huge population to even support many garrison units. They've got a howitzer there, which could be a threat, but if we just get our units right up to the border. And did I actually change my supply? Yeah, we've got put loads of money into infrastructure, we can afford it. I'll probably get here. I've also moved my Air Force up. Actually, we'll wait for this artillery to come. Come on. Come on. Looking at our Air Force for the first time, it's not awful. I like all that we can fire missiles from this. But I think we'll just be spamming fighter bombers. I don't think there's many nations around here that have a decent air force, or that can even produce an air force to fight back, apart from maybe Egypt, but that's going to be down much further in the game. Alright, let's attack. I'll attack these guys. Charge. I've got a ranger in there. It's a shame we have to destroy all their units and we can't inherit them. Yeah.
We took their capital.
That should be it. And we'll annex these guys, because I like their land fabrication. We can use that. And the population is always nice for a recruitable population. I'm not sure how recruitable population works in this, you know, manpower wise. I think it's going to be a little while before we invade Eritrea, because they are potentially dangerous. Well, we could invade now, put the pressure on them. I'll wait a little while, I'll wait till we get some more artillery. What did we just finish producing? Nothing, we've still got 8 more days. So yeah, I'll definitely hold off on declaring war. So again, I'll come back once something else happens. Welcome back, and we've just finished building this aircraft production facility. These rubber plantations. The rubber plantations haven't given us as much cash as I thought they would. Yeah, we're making not even $1 million, so we're probably better off investing in agriculture in the future. I've also produced a few of these mounted infantry. What else? We're going to start building some tactical bombers. How much are these? Very cheap. So if we just start producing loads of these, it's my hope that once that won't be very useful when we're taking over these islands, apart from maybe Sri Lanka if we get that far. But it's my hope that if the Ethiopians invade, we can push them away with our fighter bombers, and our other forces could be committed elsewhere. So I'll leave it at that. This is going to be part 1. If you like the idea of this series, Somali pirates, then give me any ideas you have about taking over what islands, and if you've got any strategies you think I should use. So I'm not particularly good at this game, but I just do it for fun. Also, please like, comment, subscribe. Cheers.